Ricarlison was sold this summer. That's brutal. Who did you sell him to? Oh yeah, we're trying to find Cosmo. What's in here though? What? Why can't I go through that? I need to just clear some space here. I need to move my hands around. You sold him to Spurs! Ugh. Out of all the fucking teams. That's brutal. But yeah, that is very brutal. And because of financial fair play. Oh man. Also, the season starts very soon. I have an updated link here. But if anybody does want to, if anybody wants to join our fantasy football league that we've created, myself, Mojo, and Einan are already in it. I'm probably going to get my brother in it again. Please do just top into my Discord, !Discord, and go to We Love Sports, and it's just in there. It's completely free. It's all just a bit of fun. Usually I win it every year. Mojo comes second, and Einan's always at the bottom of the pile, I'm afraid. But you know, maybe it's just this time to be his year. Yeah. Becomes the only Everton player I'd ever consider getting. Yeah, that's it. Same. Yeah. Unless it was like they had a player that was worth like 4 or 3.5 million, and they were just like a cheap one to chuck on the bench because I had no more money left. Oh no! You've booked it for 3 years in advance. Yeah.
Cosmo!
Here, boy. What the fuck is this meant to be? Like spaghetti?
Cosmo is definitely somewhere in this maze of rotting brain matter.
Oh, it's rotting brain matter. Oh, okay. Well, that's good then. I was worried it was something else. I can't even use my boosters. Well, shit. Lies, you all had DCL 2 years ago. Oh yeah, you're true. No, that's true. Yeah.
Then I can deal with the team.
I completely and utterly forgot about him as a football player, but yep, you're right, we did have him.
Are you afraid, Peter Quill? I'm a brute and near invincible. I fear nothing. You, however, will perish in this maze.
Is it a maze? Because if it is, I do want to actually go the wrong way so I can see if there's any secrets.
Cosmo? That you? Oh, I hate mazes. Especially stinking brain mazes.
Just have a soup.
Deep breath.
He's 8 mil this year, jeez.
Breath.
Yeah, that's it, not worth it. I've been breathing all day long. I'm pretty sure that route would just lead us here as well.
Look at you.
Only Everton player I've even considers Patterson is 4 mil defender bench fodder. Yeah, that's it. I do not know him, but oh, he might. I'm trying to think. I might have even put a bench fodder one on there, but I don't think I've ever any Everton players.
Give myself a heart attack.
Scan it, you bitch. Oh no, come on. Take the alternate route. Also, I don't know if it's just because of the way he's like. He's being trapped in a small camera at the moment, but like. It makes it super long on moving around.
Cosmo! Cosmo!
Oh, I was hoping this would be a soup. It's not, it's just stuff. He's young, right back. Okay, Coleman not will be ready for the start of the season. Well, apparently West Ham are on the brink of signing some dude called Skamaka, I believe his name is. We've also been trying to buy Broja from Chelsea. We're looking at a couple of left backs and some midfielders as well, apparently, including a kid called Anana, who I quite often end up getting in my like football manager teams. But like, it could be a good window for West Ham. Usually, we haven't bought a striker in over 1,000 days, so yeah. Yeah, I've heard he's a lanky lad. He's apparently got a lot of like an Arnautovic vibes, but with more like Hallis like size. Yeah. Look at these dudes. They're like shitter Hellboys.
Look at what we got here. Watch it, Star-Lord.
Hating him a name.
And what's a filthy scut?
I thought about Bowen, but I don't like the West Ham fixtures. Yeah, I've put Bowen. I think I put Rice because he's actually well cheap. And who else did I put? I did put another player in. I can't remember who now. But yeah, we've not got a good opening fixtures. But hey. We'll see if SM will keep on mashing or just go back to being trash bums. Oh, they're gonna mash it, bro. They're gonna mash it. We're here to stay. Also, like music. There's a load of links for my music. That's fine.
Hey, guys.
using controller.
You'd happen to know where Cosmo's office is, would you? I get the distinct feeling that you're looking for someone of the Earth persuasion. I get it, man. I get it. Us Earthers, we all look the same. It's not like you guys who very clearly look different.
Get to the
Nuh-uh.
point, Baron.
The witch
is, I
doctor
can
likes
help you
music.
find who you're
The witch
actually
doctor, and he said do. He likes
Terrans
music because
do
there's a
all
song
look
written
the
about him.
same.
Except this Terran's
It's
got
hard
a
to
word
not
on
like
his
music
back.
when there's a song written about you.
Just like the bounty says.
Same with erotic drawings.
What's that word on your back say?
I heart nowhere.
Or maybe it says Star-Lord.
Oh, song could be like, I hadn't thought about that.
Either way.
You used to like music? Then you took an arrow to the knee. And then I just started mashing it all up. Oh god, yeah. The Blood Brothers. Oh, look at these little suits they got. Aren't they cute?
to clobber some Terran with words on his jacket.
Lots of people have jackets.
Yeah, but you're the one the lady wanted. So hurry up and die.
No, thank you.
Did Lady H want him alive?
Lady H, whatever Lady Hellbender's paying you,
Oh, shit.
I'll double it.
No dice. You don't cross Lady H.
Triple. I'll triple it.
Yeah, now, Ron.
Get crushed.
I don't really feel like I'm doing too much damage to either of these lads right now.
If I said I was sorry,
She's gonna feed you to her pets.
Maybe I need to stop. I need to find a better aiming spot.
It's brute force.
Oh shit, they actually hit me.
anybody think to bring refreshments?
You gonna shut up already? Get crushed.
Oh, I thought I'd got away from that one. Well shit.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay, so I'm guessing I had to let them bash me because there was no health going down. Ending People's Appreciation Music, one mashup at a time.
Guys, it's very clear that we're evenly matched here.
Ha! No, we ain't.
We're completely invincible.
Oh, well, that sucks, but we're all professionals here, right?
Sure.
Right? Maybe we can work something out.
Hey, Gam's back.
Peter, shoot now! We need to keep them separated!
You gotta keep them separated.
Draw them apart before shooting, Peter!
Oh, I was trying to do my special. It's no use splitting them up if I'm already dead tomorrow. I blame the children.
Draw them apart before shooting, Peter! Look out, Peter!
Get ready
That
for
armor comes out whenever they're close!
Slash him, Gamora!
Order out!
All right! Now you two are in for it!
Only when they're together!
Uh oh.
They've had this trap ready for a while!
Who needs smart like this? Rock.
I best not be healing here.
Have I ever tried to see you?
It's the distraction. She's gonna pay for that kick.
Oh, that's a lot of health.
Keep them distracted, Peter!
What do you think I'm doing?
Not to upset the lady!
Oh shit, hello mate.
Come on, put him down!
About time! I don't like teamwork when it's on the other side!
Hey, Rexy buddy. Everyone's coming back now. The gang's all here. Ah, this guy does not seem to mind this. No. Oh, the backs look so little. They should have thrown him in the mincer.
Miss us?
There you go. Kiss us?
Can't let them team up!
Smash him up, Drax!
With pleasure.
I'm
Oh shit, come on, I want to do my oh shit. Man, I can never get like my specials. Whenever I try and do the specials, that's when I always crack myself up.
I don't like teamwork when it's on the other side!
Well then, help me shoot them, you dummies.
You have lost us consternation, but no longer! Shut him down! I am glad you did not kill them before I arrived!
Oh shit.
I'm trying!
Oh. Oh, Cosmo. Nice.
Peter!
What is happening?
He's a good boy. He doesn't like biting. Oh, I'm in a move. Oh. Hang on, then keep going, mate. Hey.
Come on, it's gonna be sick. It's about these zombies that invade Earth, and then it's up to these kids that have to blow them away.
Of course you would remember that. And then I ask you if you packed your lunch and you give me a blank stare.
I'll be careful, Mom. I always am.
Not so fast. Before you go, there's something I want to talk to you about, something I want to give you.
Yeah.
$20?
Oh.
Don't push it. Think of
And
it
Waffle
as
Heights
a
are back on, guys.
long
Exclamation mark
overdue gift from
WH
your
followed
father.
by up to
It's upstairs on my
15,000.
bed. Go on and get it while I finish up in the kitchen. And we can open it together.
You look so miserable. You're getting a birthday present, you little shit. Oh, that was exhilarating. Okay, so I've looked around the house loads before. I'm sure. I'm gonna go up to get a present. Yeah, you ballin', son. You got plenty of Skrilla. Huh. It doesn't even give me a little like chat about them now. Starbound from. Alright, okay. You all, mate. She did say open it together. Come on.
I knew you wouldn't wait. Do you know what a birthright is, Peter?
Yeah, that's why I got all those pogs.
It's something that's a part of you. Like your name. Before your father returned to space.
Mom.
I know it sounds crazy.
You
but
fuck
you'll
you
believe
what?
it. Something's changed.
Oh, and Mojo takes
and now
it.
more than
Oof.
ever, you need to trust me.
The imminent one must be feeling very
And maybe this will help.
dimament. Hmm. Oh shit, she brought in weapons?
Whoa.
That
Easy there,
seems
cowboy.
dangerous.
These belong to your father.
You're giving him
I
actual
used to think he left these for our
guns.
protection. But they might as well be paperweights.
He's gonna shoot his mother. In this
Still,
one,
if
she's
they're
not gonna
enough to
die from
convince
cancer,
you
she's
of
gonna
who he
die
really
from a
was,
laser beam.
Then maybe they're protection enough.
Protection from what?
Well, you're gonna be kidnapped soon,
Your
so
father wasn't just from another planet, Peter. He was
a planet.
important. And important men have enemies.
Yeah, let's see how important.
What do you mean important?
What was that outside that house?
He was king. Of an entire world. Called Spartax.
I mean, just got given laser guns, dude.
Far, far away.
As soon as he shoots it, he's gonna feel.
And he was a great leader.
He's gonna feel belief.
And the way you look after people, Peter.
just
I
gotta
know
have
you're gonna be
faith,
just
Peter.
like him.
Yeah, right. Him proper on form for it.
Leading
There's
is
like some
never
like
easy.
metallic pods outside on there.
Your father left to protect us. And for 13 years it worked. But now something's coming. I know we're being watched.
Mom,
Hush,
if you
Cosmo,
really
I'm
wanted
having a
to play
nice
game
dream.
that bad, you could have just said so.
What the fuck is that meant to be outside his house?
I hope I'm wrong, Peter. I really do. But being the son of a king on any planet means that you are going to have a target on your back for the rest of your life.
You would just think your mother's gone proper,
You're plenty
proper
brave,
mental.
but you're going to have to be smart too. Things may get messy.
Oi, oi.
I'm going to let Kubrick out. I'll be right back.
Alright, let's shoot.
Sick.
Would you now be like starting to believe?
Oh shit.
No!
Oh, it was a ship. Okay, I thought it looked a bit weird. It's the Reapers from Mass Effect. Oh shit. Oh, also, Mass Effect Legendary Edition was free recently, so we might as well play that at some point. The trilogy, obviously. You got this, lad. Made a mullet. Help, somehow. Run, bitch, run! Oh, he can't even jump. Oh, there you go, now he jumps. Oh! Boom, baby. Why is it doing that?
What? How could he help?
Look back.
Mom? I'm a little scared.
Ah. Oh shit, she got shot.
Stop! No! Please, no!
So how does he get his guns back? Unless they take them. Oh yeah, and shit, his mum's dead. So she died by being shot by aliens in this one. I don't know how she died in the books. I know she died, well, in the comics. I know she died by cancer. Oh, look at God. Are they Cosmo's babies?
What the hell, buddy? What are you doing there?
Oh man.
Guts got lucky. We almost murdered.
Word is murdered.
That's what he said.
Imagine being like stuck in a cell, but you have dogs, little puppies. I don't think I'd mind that.
Would kill a lot of you. But not
Space puppies, man. Space prison seems sick.
Nope. Lady H wanted you alive. Not you alive.
Well, then you have failed your mission miserably. Peter Quill, these lackluster bounty hunters claim Lady Hellbender hired them to kill us.
Hey,
I heard.
we ain't no slouches. We're part of a league now. No.
You said yourself she'd hunt us to the end of the universe.
I had hoped she'd send a monster.
Wait, where do puppies go?
We would have
How'd they get out?
But don't worry.
Bollocks.
There's more coming.
Are they just here to help you wake up?
A silver lining.
Yeah, that's great, Drax.
Won't be long in these clabber
Hey,
traps.
this is a big mistake. I'm innocent.
Friends will be breaking us
Cosmo,
out.
are you out there?
Real.
Cosmo!
Then you'll wish we did kill.
Be silent.
Yeah, get them. Wait,
Nice that you finally showed up. Would have been even nicer if you didn't abandon me in the first place.
I never left.
1 minute, we're having a great time, and the next... Wait a second, did you use me as bait? Huh. Well, your plan worked. A little too well, seeing how we're in jail now.
We're all in prisons of our own making, Peter.
get them. Lint, baby. Wow. Mm-hmm. That's the shit.
Breaking Lady H will get us out of here then. I reckon someone will.
A lot of sales, isn't
Name
it?
is Lady Hellbender.
Will you let me go? Bishmilliana. Do I have to look up or something? Oh, over here. Keeps taking
Hello?
pictures.
Cosmo? I really need to use the bathroom.
Yeah,
Great.
take the mitts off of him.
Hey, the whole team's here.
Ow! A little bugger just scratched me.
Oh, I'll do more than that. I'll murderize you.
Hey, guys. Didn't expect
Hey,
to
Groot.
see you here.
Yeah, cram it, Flatnard.
Flatnard?
Yeah, and it's
Flatnard.
Shut up and get in there.
come on, dude. What's your problem?
You are. That's why we quit.
You quit.
Yes, you did. Now stop talking to him.
Rocket, buddy, come on. We had a good thing going. You and Groot are better than 2-bit bounty hunters.
Scoff.
Scoff.
You say?
I said scoff.
You don't say scoff, you just scoff.
Oh, so now I don't express myself proper like? You know what? You're a real piece of... What do you think I was gonna say?
Rocket, dude, woof.
We should have buffed you in when we buffed the chance. Like we are.
You don't. Woof, woof, woof.
You rough in front of me? I told you a bajillion times, I'm not a roughing animal!
What are you talking about?
You
It's just like a profanity filter in the place. Oh, okay, no. Oh, yeah.
Sorcerer, is this?
Yeah, right.
Where are we?
You ought to
Bloody
be
Cosmo.
still on nowhere.
Oh.
Osmo!
Oh, look at the little
How you doing,
puppies.
buddy? We were just about...
No, let the puppies play.
Guardian of Galaxies will tell Cosmo why they broke into Continuum Cortex. Or Cosmo will conjure worse psychic gulag.
Broke into the...
Do not feed Cosmo cat biscuits, Peter Quill.
I'm not gonna kill them, I just want to pet them.
You work with Blood Brothers. Create distraction so pesky raccoon and sentient tree friend can use Continuum Cortex. Cosmo also knows Guardian of Galaxies have Nova Tracker on ship.
We stick together.
I'm sure it's just one big misunderstanding. Right?
Right.
We're here because something happened on the...
I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving this
Galaxy were on
section.
Nova Rock.
Yeah, we went to find Centurion Corral and pay our fine. Why?
Strange transmissions spreading across galaxy, like rabbits in springtime. Cosmo sent many team to investigate, none return. Now Nova Rock sending same signal. Guardian of Galaxy will tell me what they saw.
Can we pet
The
you?
Nova Corps were killing each other.
It was like they were drinking funky juice or something.
Or joined the cult.
Yeah,
It's very
during that
culty.
ritual with the priest. They kept talking about a promise.
Right away, sir. Fraternity at Raptors. Cult of the Negative Zones. Universal Church of
Whoa,
Truth.
stop. That's them. That old man that's with them. Shuttle exploded on the Hallis Hope.
Grand Unifier Raker, leader of the
Damn.
Universal
If I remember
Church
correctly, you're the
of
one that
Truth.
was killing little
That
cats there.
named him Bill of Cosmo.
Mm-hmm.
His
I've
old
never heard a
cult.
single animal again.
Very powerful
Not
during
intentionally,
Galactic
fully.
War. Now, not so much.
You said the rock was transmitting a signal. What if the religion were somehow...
Wayne
Yet,
Johnson.
the Universal Church of Truths died with gold skin
I'm
gold.
pretty sure
Let
there's
us
solid
investigate
evidence.
the Hallis Hope for you.
What?
You said none of your teams return, right? Seems to me like you're short-staffed, and we want to find out what happened as much as you do.
We do?
So let us investigate for you.
Always a catch, Peter Quill. And not fun kind with ball.
Fall.
What Guardian of Galaxies want in return?
Simple. Drop the charges. Contact Nova Corps HQ and get the World Mind to forgive our fine. Then we'll go.
It's not being so easy.
Face it, dog breath. You need us.
Also, I bought the thing
Us?
to get rid of the tracker
now.
on our ship. We don't need it now.
Unless you got someone else stupid enough to go.
In Soviet Russia, Cosmo would not trust words of
So
capitalist
adorable.
scum. But this is not motherland. and Cosmo no power of collateral. Guardianship, stay on nowhere.
What? You can't take our ship.
My ship.
How are we gonna find the Hallow's Hope?
Ask Pesky Raccoon. Now come, essences of time.
Bloody pesky raccoon.
So where are we going exactly?
To original settlement. From early days, before Cleveland Group come.
You mean the first mining colony is still here?
Duh. Now abandoned, mostly. Entirely restored.
Oh. Nice elevator. Huh. Kind of boring.
This is the place you broke into.
Broke implies it took effort.
Get him.
Wait, this is the Continuum Cortex?
His best way to reach Nova ship before moves again.
You found Corel.
Where is she?
Nova ship currently in a leader system orbiting my planet.
Contraxia.
Cosmo not surprised. Pesky Raccoon enjoy garbage planet.
Their restrooms do provide
Probably given
valuable
it to him, isn't it?
information.
Entire
that?
planet now broadcast same signal as Nova Rock. Cosmo not understand purpose or intention.
All them bars, betting parlors, and brothels.
Maybe it's not such a bad thing after all.
Cosmo pained to agree with Assassin.
We can find Corel and save Contraxia.
Maybe we shouldn't make too many guarantees.
We're the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is what we do.
I am with you, Peter Quill.
Hey,
You are.
thanks,
Of
Sprax.
course. It was a rousing speech.
Bootlicker.
How many people know about this place?
Enough.
Is not broadcast across galaxy, but scientists come from many backgrounds.
If Thanos...
So, what is this? Like another elevator?
They'll figure it out.
Please to stand back, Guardian of Galaxies.
Whoa! What magnificent witchcraft
Right.
is this?
I know. It's like they've never seen a giant trans-dimensional hand before.
Please to step in palm.
What if things go sideways? How do we get back?
With passport, can communicate with Cosmo, and if emergency, bring Guardian of Galaxies back.
Better you take it than Captain Valor over here.
This time, investigate Nova ship. Use passport to report findings.
And you'll speak to the World Mind? Get rid of that fine, right?
Cosmo do best. Good luck, Guardian of Galaxies.
Thank you.
Anyone see any seatbelts?
You better not throw up this time.
This is...
Sorcery?
I was going to say dizzying.
You get used to it.
Are we in space?
We're somewhere between space, between dimensions, between time,
Nice.
between realities even.
What do you mean, between?
We could theoretically go wherever and whenever with this thing. Even the places that don't exist, but do.
The view is incredible.
Yeah, pretty nice view, isn't it? Oh.
What kind of name is Avengers?
Get him.
Is that sound normal?
Normal. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Oh, Pat Benatar and Joan Jett watch over us. Who are
I'm gonna
these
try and jump him.
goddesses?
Let me jump there. Can I just walk off?
Drax?
I am not the one laughing. It's obviously an ill omen of our impending deaths. No matter where you hide, I will find you.
Or it's an alternate reality.
Yeah. Hey, Thanos.
I know that sound.
Definitely an alternate reality.
I guess I'm going in that one.
Hey, look! It's Spider-Man!
Hey.
Is that Earth? Mom?
Come on, your date for the prom is here. Come on in, Janie. Peter will be up in a second.
Really? Janie?
Okay, next stop, Alice Hope.
Alright, let's get into this weird ball pit.
Clark and Hal!
Okay, here we go!
Huh.
Whoa! Clark! You guys okay?
Do we look okay?
Well, hang in there. I'll try to restore gravity.
Oh, great. We're gonna be stuck like this forever.
Rocket, buddy, what am I looking for?
Drax, tell Scutlord most ships use external power conduits to generate pseudo-gravity in hyperbaric airlocks.
The beast says to find a power conduit.
Right, and what do those look like?
Can I grab this, please?
Tell him any vestiges of power could show up on his visor. And to stop asking so many Flarkin
Oh, I've got to wait for him to finish this thing to tell me I've got to get this right. Or do I just have to push it? Oh, okay. Is that what I have to do?
Something terrible happened here.
Well, now I can grab
Found
it.
some kind of battery. Looks undamaged.
Could be useful. Someone tell Scutlord to hold on to it.
Hold on to it, Peter Quill.
Okay, I've got 2 conduits here.
Someone tell them to turn them on.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay. Oh, just plop it in, maybe? Yeah.
Okay, I got the battery installed, Gamora, but nothing's happening.
Seriously?
Fine, I'll tell them.
Waffle Heights are back
Listen
open again,
up,
guys!
slug
Exclamation mark
breath.
FB saying
Tell
how
me
many
what
you got
you
to
see.
race?
There's a blue wire and 2 connections, yellow and red, and 1 big green thing.
Don't touch the green thing!
Not a great time to start yelling, dude.
Okay. First, plug the wire to either connection. All we need is a little jump start.
To either one?
It's not brain surgery.
Here
Okay.
goes nothing. Oh, crap!
I think I chose the right one. Huh, maybe I chose the wrong one.
You touch the green thing! Get it, you! Fucking great, Quill!
Everybody, just hold on!
Oh, there we go. Oh shit. Fun times.
Gravity was not
You
restored.
had one job, Quill.
I did exactly what?
Ooh, they look horrible to fall onto.
If I had any units, I'd bet that mutt knew what we were getting into here.
Impressive, Peter Quill.
I didn't know you could do that.
Neither did I.
Should we call
Oh.
Cosmo? Let him know what we found so far?
What do you mean, a code word? Fine. Groot won't call the mutt until we all agree on a code word.
Could be useful if we get cornered by whatever's on the ship.
How about Quill Kill?
Ooh, the code word is Ride the Stars. And we should hold off calling Cosmo until we figure out what's going on.
We should also standardize our use of the term dog report item to distinguish information of interest to our investigation.
Yep. Sure thing, buddy.
Dog report item. Something caused Nova Corps to abandon our ship.
Maybe they all just quit.
Some people don't give up when things start going wrong.
Was that a
Oh,
crack?
that's sassy.
No, it was a pointed criticism.
Can we just focus on what happened here?
I agree. The dog's investigation is our priority.
And finding out what happened to Corell and Nikki.
I was hoping there was some. Oh, there is something down there. Elevator going down.
This is the only way out, but the door's got no juice. Must be on a different circuit.
What's the thing there?
Can't you transfer power
Down
to
there?
it?
Yeah, of
I'm
course
not
I
the
can.
one with the zappy guns.
What happens if I zap you?
I wonder what else Peter's guns can do.
If you'd let me look at them, I could tell you.
Oh, that thing.
That'll do it.
And up for you! See you later, Gamora. That'll teach you for running away. I've had my
Tell me more about this job, Rodent.
Why?
I'm attempting to find common ground with you.
There, you all felt that, right?
Yep.
The same thing happened when I tried to restore the gravity.
It ain't never his fault, is it, Groot?
Dast. Looks just like what happened on the rock.
Indeed. was a desperate attempt at a last defensive position.
Ah, I thought so. Yeah,
Good bottleneck for it.
All the blaster scorch marks are from standard issue Nova rifles.
If this was a fight, then where are all the bodies?
Good point. There weren't any in the evacuation hangar either.
Maybe everyone escaped.
I wouldn't get your hopes up, Peter.
Okay, we need to get to Corell's office.
Someone tell Quill.
Come on, dude. Can't we just talk to each other?
Fine. You do know your girlfriend probably didn't make it.
Now you are just being spiteful.
Still nothing but emergency power.
Dog report item. Power outage in several sections of the ship.
What are we missing? Let's run through it all.
We got arrested by your girlfriend.
As did the churchman Grand Unifier Raker, and then his ship exploded.
So maybe that's where it started. Raker might have had something on his ship.
A gas, maybe? The explosion could have released it.
I've used something like that before.
Right. Pump it into the vents and it spreads through the ship.
Should we be worried?
If we haven't already gone crazy, we might be safe.
So weird.
Strange. I'd have expected more signs of fighting.
Wish I knew the layout of this tub better. Then we could figure out where this started. You know where we are, Gamora?
Not really. Nova never really let me out of their sight.
They had good reason not to trust you.
I think we're in space of some
I was
sort.
only stating that Nova's position of not trusting you was accurate.
The longer we bicker, the more we might miss.
Very inspirational.
Yeah, you get that off a placemat?
All I'm saying is we're in this up to our necks, and we'll need to work together to get out of it.
Feels like a track room, right? I don't know, maybe this is one we get trapped in.
Stumbling around in the dark.
Whoa! Ho, ho, look at you sexy beast!
Stop flirting, Rocket. Is it supposed to be upside down?
Only if you wanted
tell?
to channel all the ship's power up through the ceiling. Makes no sense to me.
There must be a reason. A bad one. Try that console.
We can use this to
Exactly what I
re-invert the
said.
core, or de-invert... Divert?
Rocket.
The console's safety locked because the
Vert.
mounting
Which is
arms
vert.
are retracted. If we can pop them out of them side panels, we can flip the core.
Huh. Looks like the arms are stuck without any power.
I bet we could jumpstart them.
How?
Gotta be a power cell somewhere.
It is time
Here it comes.
for Peter Quill's mask to guide us with its mysterious power.
Ain't nothing mysterious about it. I programmed the dastard
Oh yeah, she can
thing.
get up there, can't she?
There's gotta be more machinery up there. Gamora, give me a boost.
Of course.
Okay. Alright, sweet.
Hell yeah, it worked!
You know, them guns would make better engineering tools than weapons.
Nice try. Let's get the
Yeah.
other one free.
Right. Ooh, about that. Have I got to jump on this thing? Alright. Now what? I can... Oh, that side. Oh, it's probably that side I need to go to now, yeah. Woo!
All right, Gamora, let's get the second one done.
Okay.
That did it. Get back down here.
I don't wanna. I like it up here. Great views.
Now let's see what we can.
Ah!
Oh, Scott!
Okay, lightning shots ricochet between enemies. Alright. Enemies hit by lightning shots are incapacitated. Nice. Hey, that scene looks like it's here. I wonder if we're gonna have a fight. Okay.
Guys, we've got incoming.
Yeah, it's more of them infected freaks.
Man, I was hoping we'd find Nova Corps here, but not like this.
Now we know who inverted the core. But why?
Time to shred up!
This won't hurt.
Oh shit.
But
Let loose, Rock! Take him down before we alert the whole ship!
yeah, I think we just stomped all over the element of surprise.
Continue with your investigation. Yeah, hard pass.
Get him.
Way to knock some sense into us!
Fizzle!
You don't stand a chance! I hate laying up my sword on Nova Corps gear!
I think we're all gonna need some repairs after this! Definitely not the Nova Corps I was hoping to find here!
No! Did you notice the rumbling
Get
stuff
him.
when we flipped the reactor away from the ceiling?
We must find a way up there and discover why. For the dog report.
How many ability
Rocket,
points?
what's that console tell?
How many ability points do I have now then? 2. Alright, so charges. Oh yeah, that looked like it could be fun. She already has that, and I'll have to do that. Okay. Rapid fire could be fun. I'm thinking the bowling one would be better. Rocket tosses a grenade at enemy, drawing others towards the initial target's position and grouping them for a follow-up attack. Oh, okay. Oh, that could be fun. I'm gonna do bowling. Oh no, yeah, bowling. Yeah, good shit.
You.
That you should come do the honors.
Okay.
Sweet.
Surprise! This whole thing's a lift. We can ride it all the way up there.
Oh, nice.
I guess Nova grunts and grease monkeys don't get the cool flying suits.
Typical. Nobody respects their engineers these days. If you want efficiency, you gotta make... Whoa! Flark!
Logging clamps! They're shutting us down!
More nerds.
More freaks approach!
Flarker's de-reinverted the core again!
We just have to reinvert it back!
After we take some heads!
Do your charging,
Sick
buddy.
of tracks!
I thought you'd never ask!
Some of these guys got upgrades, huh?
Speaking my language!
If it weren't for that fancy pants Nova Corps armor, I swear!
I agree! The electric-wielding corpsman must... It is best to
Motherfucker.
avoid the levitating pods, Peter Quill!
I know, Drax, just slap back.
Stop mine! Finally! Sick of those Daston mines!
Drax!
Nice
Kick
to
their
meet
butts!
you!
Hold up, Rocket!
You'll handle them all! Do not let them distract you!
Right! Because who doesn't want to get
Let's huddle. Let's do
Guys,
it.
huddle up!
Why have you called us off the battlefield, Peter Quill? Our enemies are melting before us!
like butter on a
It's
hot
true.
night?
You're kicking ass.
Somebody bring me some bread!
I have fought many battles, my friends, but none so magnificent as this.
It is magnificent, Drax. Unbelievably, insanely magnificent.
Right?
Like a forking supernova. So stay on track, keep your eyes open, and shoot for the stars. Who's with me?
Today,
Wait, isn't it shoot for the stars the code word?
Feel him?
Show him some muscle! What happened? Did we trip an alarm?
yes, bring more! Let us even the odds!
You're up, big guy!
Feel my wrath!
Drax is just like
Don't know which
just up in the ceiling right now.
Nova Space Cops or Nova Space Cult!
Alright, let's get those clamps off so we can keep moving.
I will tear them from their sockets.
Ain't
Go
gonna
then.
work, Musclehead. But this time, we've got a control room to play with.
Okay, let's go to the. Oh yeah.
Looks
yeah.
like I can
Oh,
remove the clamps from here.
Good.
Clamps.
We will not be stopped by clamps.
Ah, sneaky dash bags. They scrambled the power circuit, so I can't release them.
It's got to be lootable stuff
Tired
here,
of
right?
these clamps.
Gonna have to reroute the circuits one
come
by
on,
one to
no
reset
lootable
the
stuff.
power grid. Here, I'll get the door for you. You should be able to see the grid with your visor.
Okay, visor's up, now what?
You should see power grids along the walls around here. Find their powered up nodes.
Looking for glowy power nodes.
One of these,
Right.
and say.
When you find them, you need to electrify the junction switch in the direction you want the power to flow.
What's at the door?
Shoot them with electricity?
Yeah, we're aiming for big, glowing
Groot, I think I have an idea. That's gotta be one of the power nodes. Just need to reroute it.
Oh, there we go, like that. Alright, sweet. I have an idea? What did I have an idea for Groot
So
for?
any guesses on what they're doing with all that power?
Use your roots to raise that platform with me on it. Kind of a root boost thing.
Let me on it, you bitch! He jumps with me.
Perhaps the Nova Killer knows how to redirect these machines. She has experience.
What? I'm not even on it.
an assassin, not a saboteur.
Same results either way, right?
Grab a king with a paintbrush or a mop?
I thought it just jumped up there.
Neat trick. Groot loves being helpful.
He's always helpful.
A different room, no. Hey, Groot, do you wanna, like, actually lift this up?
Kinda wondering why Cosmo didn't fetch a bunch of his muscle and do this himself.
It's simple.
Oh, I see.
Required professionals.
Yeah, the fools who don't even
Now I
need
see.
to lift the paw to take down Lady Hellbender's invincible goons needs us. Real life.
Good. We agree on something.
Alright. As long as there's no aliens down here. Cool, no xenomorphs.
Okay,
Beautiful.
I bet I can reroute the power to get myself back out of here.
Solid plan.
Hell yeah! Who's smarter than Nova Corps?
Batman.
You know, normally you're not supposed to travel through dimensions without a quarantine and a decompression on the other side.
Ooh, full damage, eh?
Just keep an eye out for the warning signs.
Who would have known?
Mental degradation, paranoia, aggressive behavior.
I'm sure I'm gonna shoot that one, right?
An accurate description of our team. How will we tell?
Oh.
Did that do anything?
Not yet. You'll have to reroute a couple of them.
That's another power node.
I see it now. You've got half of it rerouted. Now work on the other room.
Alright.
Okay, I'm getting the
Can I go
hang
in
of
there?
this. Might be gunning for your job
Oh.
soon.
You want to trade? I'm happy to sit in the captain's seat.
You frequently sit in the captain's seat.
Did not just hear that. Doors open, and I got the power flowing through.
Almost qualified to be a junior engineer.
Thanks.
Okay. Is that half stunned? Nice. Try another door.
This would go a lot faster if we all had the ability to scan.
Yeah, you got any priceless lattice hex ornadium crystals lying around? I'll gladly build you one. No, we ain't got any. We only had the one.
What do your goggles do?
That's classified.
Looks like the wall's weak here. Drax,
Draxy boy.
I need a hole here to reach the grid.
And you will have one.
Cheers, buddy. Okay.
Uh-huh. Another power node.
Wrong one. Oh, when you do that, it switches it. That's kind of annoying.
What does Howler's Hope do anyway? Other than being a giant pain in the tail.
It's a peacekeeping ship.
Capable of extreme violence.
That's the whole idea. A deterrent if it has to move in to mediate a conflict.
Groot, need your help, buddy. Root boost, please.
He is. It's true.
Everybody stay alert. Quill has a knack for pushing the wrong buttons or crossing the wrong wires.
It was so true.
Small, hairy one is insinuating you are bad luck.
Funny how the small, hairy one is always right there guiding me.
Peter Quill is insinuating that you, Weasel, could be the cause of our problem.
Weasel?
Looks like you did it, Starpants. Now get into the control room and hit that clamp release. I'll re-invert the core at the same time and get us moving again.
Okay. Sounds simple. Same time? Let's go.
The clamps are unclamped.
Slick. Now get back in here before we leave you behind.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, let's see how far you get without your button pusher.
Now that we know the infected Nova are here, we can agree that whatever's going on upstairs is really bad, right?
They were furious when we removed their power source. Must be important to their effort.
Can't wait to smash it. Whatever it is.
And then get back to Cosmo for our reward.
All right, this is our floor.
It's gonna be a reward.
These doors are sealed tight.
Just look for another way out.
Drax, hit that panel where all the wires connect.
Step aside.
Sweet. Oh, sure.
Out to the coast. We'll get together, have a few laughs.
What's that?
Nothing.
No, that. They must have flipped the core back. Something's powering up again.
Bastards.
Great. Now we're stuck in the ventilation. Great job, Quill.
Dude, I know you're peeved, and I'm sorry.
Apology accepted.
Really? That's it?
In case you hadn't noticed, there's more important things happening right now than Quill saying he's sorry.
Oh, that's pretty.
Whoa! Flark and Scott! What are these frackling gaboons doing to Contraxia?
Oh, Jesus.
This thing, Rocket!
Is it a Death Star?
No! It looks like it's siphoning something!
Oh no, all the cubes.
Those cubes?
I know! I gotta get a closer look!
Peter Quill, we have been in this hangar before.
It's like they're stocking up on something!
This is where the Churchman's shuttle exploded.
Yeah, well, it looks a little different now.
Because of the giant machine, yes, but I assure you, Peter Quill, this is where you and the girl almost fell to your deaths.
Nice. Good memories and stuff.
Bro would never have allowed this to happen to her ship.
So, you think she escaped?
I don't know. She could be holed up in her office.
She'll be dead. No wait, she's inside her own daughter.
We're not leaving till we find out what happened.
I'm not so to agree.
So what is it?
I think they're using the ray to fill some kind of battery. Standard galactic I/O ports, Regalian glass mat separators, Kree cathodes.
I understood some of those words.
I ain't never seen nothing like it. Energy readings are all over the place, but I can't tell what kind of energy it is.
What the?
Log report items.
Scott, that's loud!
Log report item. Massive device.
over there, hey?
Energy from Traxxas.
Root! We need to check out that
Cheers,
giant
bud.
ray thing. Can you get us across?
Dog report item! We gotta destroy this thing!
We don't even know what it is!
Let's slide down here.
We'd probably end up taking out the entire ship.
Okay, good. I wasn't quite sure if that was the best idea or not, but
Good advice!
Guardian of Galaxies, Cosmo Check. Investigation lead him to believe Hollow is key to galaxy mystery. What is that noise?
We are compiling an extensive dog report.
Ah, Flark the report. Tell him his magic hand almost got us killed.
Contraxia isn't looking so good.
They're killing it is what they're doing.
Tell Cosmo what is happening.
They've got this giant ray thingy pointed at the planet. It's collecting some kind of energy.
Have Guardian found Centurion Corel?
Not
we have
yet.
not. No, no.
Guardian must find her. May have
We're about to have a
answers
fight here.
you need.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's to do with the powerful armor. Oh
Your
shit.
experience fighting Centurions will be necessary here, woman.
Spread out!
You gotta tell me what's in this battery!
It's better to just finish them off!
Caution! Chop him, Gamora!
Trap it!
I also
wrong
require
one.
the grounding of this
Oh, shit.
renegade.
Precision is key here, guys!
Should we focus on this one? Look out!
No,
was there more? Oh, come on.
Showing up.
Yeah, right. That's what I was just saying.
Rip him a new one! Rocket! Nuke him! Root! Snag him! Chop him up!
More of them up on the walls and on the ground as well.
Gamora! Cut that!
Cut that. Oh. Oh, people find me down here as well.
I expected more coordination between them. Divide and block them.
Oh shit.
You one day I have to shoot it out with Nova Corps. I have better people who are respectable. These are not them.
Rip him up, Drax! Let's see that sword! Scott! How do we fight a flying enemy?
Oh shit.
That your girlfriend come to finish us off?
He's like a fruit fly. I can't swat him.
That's probably quite useless there, but it seems to get XP points or whatever it is, doing it?
They must be vulnerable to certain tactics.
Let us all know when you figure out what it is.
Fighting. That's their weak point.
We're gonna need a strategy to take them out!
Yeah, keep shooting.
Nice shot! Now he's down on our level.
Brace yourself! They do not fight as one. This is simple. Divide and conquer.
Cut him free, Gamora.
I am trying to destroy. Where did he go?
Once he's down, you'll get your chance back.
Drop him, Rocket.
Bradley!
Oh, nice.
Doesn't look like he'll be flying anytime soon.
Rocket! Safety's all you, Drax! You got this one! Okay, seems to me like this ship might be ground zero for
Murderize
whatever's
them.
happening. We gotta find Corral, get some real answers.
You have any idea where she is?
I'm thinking we check her office. I even know how we can get there.
You know a way out of the hangar?
Yeah, Drax spotted it on our way in. We can use the hole Nikki and I fell into when Raker's shuttle exploded.
You know, we never did talk about why you jumped after her, Peter.
Huh, that ain't right.
Oh, that's a lot of battery power.
I can't get over how loud that thing is!
Rocket, you see where that vent leads?
Anything to get out of here.
We should be prepared and Drax, gonna need you to drag this over.
I will assume you have a plan. I've done my part.
Yeah,
Any
thanks.
idea why they need so many of these batteries, Rocket?
No.
We
no
still
idea
need a
what we're
way
actually
through.
doing.
That seemed like a wasted effort.
All plans need steps to succeed.
What new age drivel have you been reading? We need to stop the batteries from moving Peter. I wonder if we could have stopped this from the reactor room.
There we go.
Just like I thought.
Impressive work, Peter Quill.
Thanks,
Just
Drax.
hope it does not cause an explosion.
All right, come on, the tunnel's just past here.
We got lucky no one else showed up.
That sounds like a cue for someone else to show up.
Unifier has detected an intrusion.
There we go.
Spread out.
It will be contained.
By her will.
Move! There's too many of them.
In the hole. Jump.
Yeah, we can take them.
Still don't get why you jumped after the kid back then. Top 10 dumbest things I ever saw you do.
You should have seen how worried he was.
Hey, Star Pants was our ticket with the captain. I was worried his death would lead to more jail time.
It was adorable.
I hate you all.
Nice.
Pretty sure this is right.
Pretty sure?
Everything was on fire last time.
I couldn't make that happen.
No, Rocket,
No.
no.
Ain't that a piece of the Uniflyer's old ship?
Unifier.
Yeah, whatever.
When we were arrested, they mentioned Raker got caught for the same thing we did.
Not exactly the same.
He got caught scavenging in the quarantine zone.
Nikki mentioned something about fishing for a god, I think.
Kind of deity inhabits the quarantine zone.
The kind that should probably
Quarantine
stay
zone.
quarantined.
I did not realize you and the girl fell down so far, Peter Quill.
I didn't fall. I jumped. Heroically. Gamora, any chance you can help us
Oh, don't
here?
push me off though.
Got this, Peter.
Bloody hell.
One more time, group. Let's go find Corell and Nikki.
Alright. Oh shit. Everyone, let's go.
So, we all agree that the captain and her kid are probably dead, right?
Corral survived the worst of the war. And a relationship with Peter.
Still willing to bet they didn't survive this.
You'd wager on whether or not a mother and child are dead.
Nikki's one of the most resourceful kids I ever met, and Corell's a warrior. I'd bet on both of them any day of the week.
Don't get cocky, Quill. Just because you won
Don't
that
get
bet in the
cocky, kid.
quarantine zone.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
I mean, there's two ways I can go. Oh no, I can't go down, okay.
Be careful down there, Peter Quill.
Yeah, definitely a lot sparkier than last time.
Make sure the kid ain't floating face up somewhere.
That'll work.
Drax, I'm thinking there might be something behind those pipes.
A fascinating thought, Peter Quill. Perhaps you should share it with the assassin.
Alright.
What do you say, Gamora, now that the floor can't kill us?
I just assumed if you have to like,
No problem.
you know, bend them.
Well, definitely no
Hey, a new
sign of
costume.
Nikki or Corell.
Yeah, finally we have a suit for Gamora. She was still wearing her basic bitch one. Alright. Now she's
I
an
guess
overcool.
that's good news.
Oh, and they all light up now a bit, so I can find. Oh, Drax isn't lighting up. Hang on. How do I change that? Let's see if we can make. Does he have any that we can make glow? Not really. His titties jiggle when you choose that one. Look, and that one. Titty jiggle, titty jiggle, titty jiggle on the suit as well. Explain that one to Congress. Right, where am I going? This way? Get out of the way, Rocket.
Whoa, watch out!
Groot says we should start thinking about exit plans.
The exit plan is to call Cosmo after we get the answers we need.
Answers you need, maybe.
Don't suppose you've seen Nikki?
I'm sorry, what?
You feeling
that's our
okay,
friend.
Peter?
It's one of Nikki's robots. She gives them names and takes care of them or whatever.
He does not look taken care of to me.
Well, you wouldn't know,
Does not
Drax.
strike me as very safe
kid's
here, Peter
dead.
Quill.
Better this than getting shot at.
Speak for yourself.
You'd rather get shot at?
More fulfilling to shoot someone I don't like than look for someone I don't care about.
Our leader seems to care, and so we should also pretend to care.
Of course you would.
Also, at least we can get loads of upgrade stuff for when we eventually get there. If we ever find another bench. Oh, is that not the way we go? Oh, do we go this way? Alright, let's go, everybody. Oh shit, gas and stuff.
Careful, Peter Quill.
Okay, don't remember this green gas being here last time.
I think you mean deadly green gas.
Oh, and
This
I'm being
whole
pushed
ship's
into
a
it.
death trap now.
I'm sure there's a way to unburst these pipes.
There better be, because there's no way I'm walking through that.
There, easy peasy.
Okay, that was bad, even for you.
That was a decent pun, don't you dare, Gamora?
More death gas.
Maybe Nikki and Corral are using it to protect themselves.
Or, and hear me out on this, maybe they're dead.
You know what, man? You're being a real jackass, like, way more than usual.
Tension is palpable.
Oh, can you both please get over this?
Agreed. Either resolve your issues or fight to the death.
Look,
Okay.
Rocket, I know I suck sometimes. We all suck sometimes. Pretty sure it's why we ended up together.
I do not suck.
Point is, I care about us. But right now, we're not the ones in danger. And Nikki's just a kid, man.
As long as we're clear on the you
believe that one.
sucking part.
Clear as day.
Okay. We'll go this way. Wait. I'm getting so lost now.
All yours, Gamora.
Cutting
Where'd you
right
come
out.
from?
You You sure this is the right way?
Nope.
Just keep your eyes open.
You know, Peter, if Nikki and Corell really are...
They're not.
I'm just saying we should be ready for anything.
They're not.
I should check that other room out first. Too late now. Wait, maybe that wasn't the best thing to try and land on? Yeah, nah.
Dog report item. Rumbling. Or Atraxia.
Okay. I'm safe. Oh yeah, that would be much easier to do. Oh, and this is where this thing is.
Did you find a dog report item?
No, nothing dog report worthy. And still no signs of Nikki or Corell.
In the face of death's infinite history,
I cannot go back up
Tathians
there.
are taught to focus on what is tangible.
I'll keep that in mind.
I'm gonna get up there. If so, how? Ah. Oh, bloody door. You know what I mean, Great? Alright. So, this way again? Alright, let's go.
Here! This is definitely the right way. Nikki's secret hideout is just through here.
Thought we were going to the captain's office.
We are. Right after we check here.
So, any new ideas on what the oversized vacuum's actually doing to Contractia?
A few. None of them good.
Try not to break anything. This place means a lot to her.
Oh, wow. Did Nikki paint all this?
Pretty cool, right? Nikki?
Little one, reveal yourself.
Maybe try being a little less scary.
It's Peter! The pirate? Rocket, you got the body of a little girl. Can you fit in there?
Try again, Quill.
Ask him nicely, Peter.
Knew this would come in handy.
Where'd you get a Nova passkey?
Oh, yeah. Workbench note. Oh. Hey, our Chewbacca.
Careful, Peter Quill. In my experience, children often booby-trap their toys.
It's not Nikki's, it's mine.
So we're just claiming her stuff now? Because if we are...
No, I mean it literally used to belong to me.
Quill, you gotta see this. This kid's obsessed with you.
Wait, why does she have your toy?
It's just something I gave to Corell when we were together during the war, like a keepsake. It doesn't mean anything.
Does, this mean anything?
How old is the child?
Uh-oh.
12.
Ha!
We did call this earlier.
Congratulations, Peter Quill. You will make a terrible father. Unless the child is dead, in which case, does not matter.
Wait. Is this why you dragged us here?
Clearly, the child is 12.
This doesn't prove anything. The dates match up, so what? That's not how paternity works.
It kinda is.
Was Corell ovulating at the time?
I don't know! We thought we were gonna die. Can we just focus on if Corell and Nikki are okay? They're clearly not here, so let's move on and keep looking.
Wow. Papa getting sassy.
Anyone else feel weird going through Nikki's stuff like this?
Ah.
Peter Quill is her father. It is his
Well,
duty
she
to
definitely
pry
thinks
into her
that
personal life.
we're Papa and
Pretty
daughter.
sure she ain't here, Quill.
For all we know, maybe this guy's her dad.
Yeek. Looks like an even bigger deadbeat than you.
Still can't get over how good she is with all this tech stuff.
Meh, I could do better. Staring at it ain't gonna change what it says.
It doesn't say anything. It's just some confused kid projecting stuff.
Just some confused kid?
That is no way to talk about your daughter.
Guess Nikki wasn't much of a Skrull fan.
Yeah.
Name someone who is a Skrull fan.
Good point.
Wow, racist. Right, we should definitely be able to upgrade.
I'm thinking Nikki won't mind if we use this. What do you say, Rocket?
I say I don't care even if she does mind.
Get him. So we can do a charge shot and low life buff. Shield, regenerate shield points more quickly. Increase shield total by 50%. Increase health total by 25%. Done that. Slow time briefly when dodging at last second. Drop additional health pickups when landing a lethal blow after a jet boost. No, I don't really do much of those. I might have to go for the health ones. We can get 2 at least. Actually, that one's like... Maybe that would be good, actually. Yeah, okay, let's do an attacking one and a health one.
Small marvel crafted.
A small marvel craft. Oh, shit, I needed 800 for that. Motherfucker. Okay, we'll save it.
Okay, where were we?
Congratulating you on being a father.
Get him.
It grumbles more incessantly than a Catathian without breakfast.
Should be a way to Corell's office through those pipes on the left.
Yeah, I see an opening. Could be there's a latch on the inside. Allow me, Star Dad.
I get it!
Shut up, you! I'll kill you all.
Guys, could we not make light of all this? We still don't know if they're okay.
I am capable of feeling concern while still laughing at you, Quill.
Ditto.
Gotta admit it, Quill. Kid's whole setup is pretty impressive. The way she rigged her terminal to the emergency power grid.
I told you, she's a smart kid.
Perhaps Peter Quill did not sire this child after all.
Get him.
Yeah, I could see that. She just don't seem dopey enough.
Maybe she gets everything from the mother's side.
If I had a kid, she or he would definitely be super cool and smart.
So just like Nikki.
I guess, maybe, yes.
Yep, so definitely gets it from the mother's side.
Okay, after I've done this stuff, I will probably have a little break.
If we're lucky, maybe they're on their way down right now.
When have we ever been lucky?
It did seem unlikely.
All I know is I am really starting to hate this elevator.
You owe me one, Quill!
I thought I was a goner, man. It's all you, Gamora!
Cut to the chase! Hate to admit it, but I have a really bad feeling about Corell and Nikki.
Stop punching me.
Corell and Nikki? I have a bad feeling about us!
The trick is to defeat them before they defeat you.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Do your thing, Fred!
Blend you!
So was this a coincidence, or did they know we were coming?
Everyone okay? Anyone hurt?
Get him.
What? Are you gonna start being all paternal now?
We're fine, Peter. We know how to fight.
I know, I
We'll
just...
find them. Don't worry.
I'm
You said
worried.
Corell's office was up top somewhere?
Yeah, just need to make our way up.
Alright. Can we go this way? We can. Okay, well I'm going to check this little room first, because clearly there's something
Dog
special.
report item. We are lost.
We're not lost. More deadly gas.
Oh yeah, he's definitely stalling. What do you expect? Got the emotional maturity of a 2-year-old.
Get
Are
him.
you speaking of Peter Quill?
Obviously.
I'll have you know, I am super emotionally
Where is this one?
mature.
Oh, there. Is it?
I just realized something. Nikki's a tech expert, knows her way around ships, fits into small spaces,
Don't you dare finish that sentence.
and she seems to get along well with Peter.
Good luck replacing me with a dead kid.
How am I going to get that last one?
side.
I've already got that one.
Longer it takes to find them, longer we can pretend they're okay.
Hakuna Matata.
Shouldn't you be focused on figuring out what's inside those batteries? Quietly?
Nah, I tend to think better when I'm mouthing off.
Next stop, Corell's office.
Oh, and they all disappeared.
Come on, just admit it, Quill. You're freaking out right now.
Oh.
This whole
I am
deadbeat
freaking out.
dad thing's gotta be eating at you.
The prospect of maybe being a dad
And having your
is
friends disappear through the floor.
a little scary.
A little?
Embrace the panic, Peter Quill. It is the essence of father.
Oh, and they're back. Thanks for joining us. What is he trying to whistle? Yes. Okay, right. I'm going to save the game there.